Hello everyone. So today we're going to do something a little different. This week, Monday through Friday, would normally be wise words to ponder. However, the most recent card walkthrough, tarot deck walkthrough I did was for Supernatural. And Sakina urged me to, instead of doing wise words to ponder with the Supernatural cards, she suggested that I do an Into the Unknown, as I've done before, with these cards. So I am going to choose 5 paranormal stories that were sent to me years ago for a website that I used to have from 2004 to 2017 called the Night Watchman Chronicles. And I'm going to read a story a day, and Sakina, as always, for these stories, when I shuffle the cards, she sends out jumpers, and that's what these cards are. So this is her giving her opinion or her take on this particular story. What was actually happening in the story. So I'm going to read you the story, and then we'll come back and see what cards Sakina has given us for the story. This story is called A Noise Above the House, and it's by C.A. This story happened when I was a little girl living on our farm in Oklahoma. I came from a big family with many siblings who bear witness to this. It happened during the 40s, and all of my siblings who were living at home at the time heard the noise I will describe to you. Sometimes during the nighttime, we would hear a very unsettling, weird, out of the ordinary noise. I don't know how else to describe it. This would happen at night before we fell asleep. The noise began, it seemed, over the top of the house, at one corner of the housetop, starting as a faint rumble like distant thunder. Then it grew louder and louder as it passed over the house and faded off to the outer air. There is no better way to explain it. Then it would begin again, starting out very faint at one end of the housetop and growing louder and louder as it rumbled across the house where it faded out again. This would repeat many times before it stopped. All of us siblings heard the noise, but none of us can remember if we ever shared our experiences with our parents, and now they have both passed on. One Saturday afternoon in broad daylight, myself and 5 siblings stood outside the house, probably about 100 feet from the house, and listened to that terrible noise coming from our house. No one was in the house, and our parents had gone to town, a trip they made every Saturday. After some time, the noise stopped and we went back inside. We had gone outside the house when the noise first began, which is the only time I can remember hearing it in the daytime. I am 74 years old now, and several of my older brothers and sisters have since passed, but those of us who remain still talk about that noise, and we have no idea what in the world it was, and most likely we never will. I will tell you that I believe it was nothing of this natural world. I have never heard anything like it since, nor have I ever heard of anyone who experienced this exact thing. What was this? Okay, so let's see what cards Sakina has given us for this story. And please, if you were hearing any odd noises while I was reading that story, my Chihuahua is laying next to me. He is snoring. He likes to do it a lot louder when I am recording. So, first card out. The Queen of Bones, or Queen of Wands. Second card out, we have the Hierophant. Third card is the 5 of Bones, or 5 of Wands. So with the Queen of Bones, or Queen of Wands, Sakina is saying that this was a person or a spirit, and that this person loves attention, or loved attention, and loved the attention that she was able to get from the people living in the house. Perhaps the fear, feeding the fear or whatever. In other words, basically, negative attention is better than no attention. And I feel like, she had a dark sense of humor, but that she was just expressing herself, really just wanted to be noticed. And Sakina is saying that she tried other things before settling on what she was doing above the house. She found that, after testing that out time and time again, that it gave her really good results. So rather than trying something new over the years, she continued using this same thing. And it basically kind of became, for her, a nightly tradition. And with the Five of Bones or Five of Wands, Sakina is saying that she really did mean to cause chaos, but not in a harmful way. She just wanted to disrupt sleep so that they would notice her. And Sakina is saying, for those who kind of are lost in limbo, so to speak, for whatever reason they are not crossing over, they try very, very hard to get the attention of those who are living. And imagine what it would be like, she says, if you were in this position and you were not able to be heard. You tried talking to people, but you weren't heard. So what would you do? You would do everything that you can think of to try and have someone acknowledge your existence. To say, hey, I hear you. At least hear you. Even if they don't see you, they hear you and know that you're there, and they acknowledge that. And that's what she was hoping for. But as time went on, it again became kind of a tradition, a nightly tradition. And I still get the impression that from the story and the person who sent in the story that they never really did ever acknowledge her. They acknowledged the noise that she was making, and maybe she overheard them talking at some point, but needless to say, it continued on, and it had the effect that she wished it to have. So that's it for Sakina's take on this story. Take care.